Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Leo placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Leo, there are a couple of readings that are coming through for you as being relevant to your message today. The first one is an Aquarius reading, which I will link above. And it has something to do with exploring the boundaries of your own power. So there may be a message in there for you. There was another reading, a Gemini reading, which again I'll link above. I think it was the last Gemini reading, where there was a little bit of overwhelm in that energy. So there may be a message in there for you. I was kind of getting that vibe. But anyways, Leo, so which is interesting because both of those are air signs. And of course, Leo's fire. But anyways, so there was one more message coming through before I start pulling cards. Right now, we're in the Mars in Cancer transit, and it will be transiting out of Cancer Friday, April 18th, which is in a couple weeks from the time I'm filming this. And we'll be moving in, like Mars will be moving into the sign of Leo. So that energy feels kind of relevant to you, because I feel like there's something here where the Mars in Cancer transit has felt a bit like cleaning house. So it could be that the last Cancer reading might be relevant to you. There could also be something about like things being removed from like your stable, like something about stability being changed. Like something that was very stable is now being sort of like cleansed or purified, or like something is leaving, or like it's that kind of energy. Like a cleaning house kind of energy. That's what the Mars in Cancer transit has been coming through with, especially things like where, having to set firm boundaries with things that are not in alignment with you and things like that. So there may be sort of like circumstances outside of your control that are causing this, or causing you to have to make decisions like that, or whatever it is, because Cancer is a sign that's associated with home, like defending one's home, and the Mars in Leo transit feels kind of like it's like once all of that sort of like what's the word that I'm thinking of, once all of that, like whatever it is, has been sort of cleared out, it's like cleaning a space before getting to work on something. That's how it's coming through, like making sure everything's clean, to have sort of like a blank slate so that you can start working on some sort of new project or something like that. Because I do feel like the Mars in Leo transit is going to be a lot more like forward momentum kind of energy. But the next couple of weeks maybe might be a period of time where you're sort of just like clearing things out, or like getting things ready, or it's really wanting to come through like purifying a space. Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to leave that message there. And I'm now getting something here of like in this deck, there is a card called the Despicable Face, which is coming through right now. It's a card about feelings of like shame, or like things that we're embarrassed about, or things that we don't want other people to see about us, that kind of thing. So that might be part of your energy today, Leo. Maybe there's something here where it's like, especially if it's something about like cleaning house, right? Like maybe you're like cleaning something up about your own vibration or your own whatever it is, And maybe it is something where it's like it causes embarrassment, or it's like you don't want other people to see this aspect of you for whatever reason. But the reassurance with that card is that the reassurance with that card is that it's not something that you should be embarrassed about. It's something that like makes you unique, and it's something that makes you whole, and that you should love this part of you, even if it's something that internally you may feel embarrassed about or whatever. So we'll see if that card comes out. But anyways, I'm going to pull some more cards for you, or pull some cards for you. We're going to start with the Alchemy Elemental Oracles. Okay. Yeah. Water, Lake, Moon. And you have Water, Spring, Star at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So you're working with the water element. I can't remember what this one's about, so give me a second to read the description. We earthlings perceive the moon by way of the sunlight reflecting off its surface, just as shamans gather visions and insights from the moonlight reflected upon the lakes and the rivers. It is time to pause and reflect, dear one. Step into stillness and rest there, contemplating all that has been and all that you aspire to be. The deeper you are willing to delve into yourself, the more insights you will discover. Don't get sucked into the distractions of the outside world. Now is the time to go inside. Allow your attention to take the shape of the moon as your innermost being becomes the waters upon which it is reflected. Can you sit patiently in the silence and allow the insights to make themselves known and to guide you on your journey? Okay, yeah. It is kind of feeling like there's this, because of that sort of like Cancerian energy that's coming through your reading today with the water and the moon, there's something that you need to reflect, or that perhaps you're feeling drawn to reflect on something, Leo, within yourself. Perhaps you're paying attention to your emotions or how you feel about a certain situation or something like that. But it is an energy here of pausing and reflecting. There, again, with that sort of despicable face energy, there may be something here about like insecurities that are coming up. And illusions that may be cast because of those insecurities. Like it could be something where it's like, if you feel insecure about something about yourself, it's like that sort of becomes like the lens through which you perceive certain experiences. So it could be like, whatever it is, like it's like, I don't know. Let's say you have like an insecurity about your hair, for example. Like it's kind of like it could be something like that. It doesn't have to be a physical characteristic, though it may be. Where like let's say you're insecure about your hair for whatever reason. So when you go out and you see someone, it's like, oh, that person probably thinks my hair looks blah blah blah, or like whatever. Like you have that sort of internal dialogue that is based from your insecurities, perhaps, but that is an illusion, because most often the case is that that person is not thinking that about you or your hair or whatever, as an example, but that's what the insecurity is telling you. So just paying attention to that there may be things like that are coming up for you to sort of like clean up about yourself, Leo, like clean up your vibration about your insecurities, and accepting and loving those aspects, because I feel like there's something here where like the insecurity is causing an illusion or like a false narrative that is needing to be cleaned up, is how it's coming through. Okay. But again, it is something here as well, because I'm getting that Gemini reading again, the last Gemini reading. which talked about sort of this thing about like somebody having like really high expectations of Gemini. So maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. It doesn't have to be. Maybe it has something to do with like your social network or something like that, Leo. I'm now also getting Libra energy, so there may be something like something to do with like your social network or like your relationships in whatever form, that where it's like insecurities are coming up within those dynamics that you're being asked to sort of like clean up vibrationally, and to integrate whatever it is that like you're maybe not feeling good about. Because I feel like there's something here with the water lake moon where there's like emotional energies that are causing someone to like not see a situation clearly is how it's coming through. Like seeing a situation through the lens of one's insecurities rather than the truth of what is being perceived or like what is actually being experienced is how it's coming through. But again, part of that, like how you would see something clearly, Leo, is to pause and reflect and go inward rather than depending on sort of like an outward reflection. I feel like there's something like that. It's like it has to be something that is sort of cleaned up internally rather than depending on some sort of external energy to validate whatever it is that you need validated. It's kind of like it has to come from within is how it's coming through. Okay. The moth. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. That's an energy of like thinking the grass is greener on the other side, being like really restless and hasty. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. Okay. What's coming through with that card is like seeking an easy solution. I feel like maybe and it does also come through with a little bit of external validation, like things like if you feel sad, like you go on a shopping spree, like that. It's that kind of energy, like something to sort of distract you from how you're feeling, or something to distract you from what you maybe feel like you're missing or lacking. That's kind of what the energy is coming through with the moth. That maybe there's something here of like seeking something to distract you from how you are feeling internally. This does sort of feel like an external, sort of like seeking external validation or something like that. Maybe there's that energy coming towards you, Leo. Also keep that in mind. Maybe there are sort of moth energies being attracted to you, like seeking your validation or something like that. Just keep it could be flipped. Okay, can I get a couple more cards for Leo? Seeking an easy solution. The snake. Your energy is protected. And the starfish. Okay. And the starfish. And then you have Panther and the owl at the bottom of the deck. I didn't like it came out when I was in the middle of shuffling. So this is how the deck split. Owl and Panther, and that feels relevant today. Okay. And the shark is wanting to come out as well. Okay. Because the starfish is coming through with this energy as well. Okay, so keep in mind this whole reading could be flipped, but there is something here where I feel like there's I'm gonna just read it the way that it's wanting to come through now with the other cards that are coming out, is that I feel like you're in this energy, Leo. I feel like maybe you're protecting your energy a little bit at the moment. Because the snake does talk about protection and guardianship and like holding on to some sort of potential that hasn't been tapped into yet. Especially with this water lake moon, it's like going inward. I feel like maybe you're doing a lot of inner work. It feels a bit like the Hermit for you, Leo. But there are energies outside of you which are coming through as the moth and the starfish, or that the moth is seeing you as the starfish, where the starfish is this sort of like very attractive, very beautiful, very charming kind of energy. But one where there's not... Okay, let me read what the description says. I feel like, Leo, if you're not sharing a lot of yourself right now with others, especially within like a social network, if you're not sharing a lot of yourself right now, it's like others are very curious about what it is that you are doing, because it doesn't like on the surface, you're coming out as the starfish is how it's feeling. A natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. There is this energy here, because the starfish, the shadow aspects of the starfish would be superficial or shallow. That there may be something here about like being reliant on how other people see them, right? Like that kind of thing, like that it's like overly dependent on outward appearances when there's nothing sort of internal happening. I don't feel like that's the case for you, Leo, because you have this card, right? Which is this card about like internal depth and emotion and like connecting to how you feel in this like very spiritual energy. But I feel like there may be something here where you're protecting your energy from moth energies is how it's coming through, especially because you have here the Panther that was at the bottom of the deck, which is coming through as being like other people maybe seeing you as being shallow or superficial, or that like they may be seeing you as like not having depth, or like, you know, whatever it is. But I feel like what is actually the case is that you are protecting that part of you from moth energy, which sometimes the moth comes through as being like kind of like a Knight of Wands, like here for a short time or a good time, but not a long time. Like energies that are sort of like transient, or that like or do not commit to things like that. It's that kind of energy. And I feel like you, Leo, are protecting yourself from that kind of experience. And if those energies perceive you as being a starfish, it's kind of like it doesn't affect you or something like that. That's how it's feeling. But there may also be something here, Leo, where maybe you're feeling a bit detached from your true purpose. Because there's something here with like trying to reconnect to your true purpose is what's coming through with this water, lake, moon energy. Like something that's sort of like a hermiting energy, like trying to find the star. I feel like you're trying to reconnect to the star. Like some sort of like hope or dream that maybe you've become detached from, maybe because of this sort of like distracting energy, whatever it is. So just being conscious and aware of that. Scorpio. Yeah. Interesting. Scorpio is your square, fixed water sign. And you have debilitated discomfort at the bottom of the deck. Okay. The Scorpio energy with investigate, which is again the depth. I feel like there's something here, Leo, where you are being asked to like go within, go sort of like deeper into your emotional waters. Because there are things that are on the surface that are misleading, is how it's coming through. Yeah, it says play your cards close to your chest. It's time to gather information, get the facts, work with that material, and introspect. Listen to both the facts and to your own intuition, rather than to other people's opinions. Share only when you are ready. Appreciate moments alone. If you learn to be comfortable alone, you will have more bargaining power in relationships. Within the depths of your soul is your connection to the infinite. Search for it. Yeah. The challenge is question everything, including your own concerns. Jealousy and possessiveness drain your energy and waste time. Before triggering your defenses, the Scorpio sting. Ask if that response will get you what you actually need. The gift of this card is transformation. Scorpio loans you the strength and curiosity to plumb the depths and face your monsters, then soar to new heights and transform the situation. Feel the well within that connects to the collective source. Yeah. It feels kind of like, Leo, you may be facing some fears about some sort of, like, it could be some sort of emotional energy. Like it does, because Scorpio is, the challenge of this card is that it is coming through with a little bit of jealousy or possessiveness, or like, it kind of does feel like things in relationships that like cause the sort of like discomfort emotionally, right? Like that's how it's feeling. So you're being asked to investigate that. It's really interesting though, because I do feel like you are doing that, Leo, or you're in the process of like sort of going within and investigating like your own emotional response to certain stimuli or experiences or whatever. You're investigating your own emotional response is how it's feeling. But there are things outside of you that feel kind of like the moth and the starfish, right? Like only concerned with outward appearances, or like I don't know. With the moth, it feels kind of like the moth is also coming through as like no commitment to self. Like there's no like self-discipline. Hold on, I want to read what the snake card says. Yeah, guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. I do feel like, Leo, in this process of like going within into your emotional state or your emotional response, it is unlocking some sort of creative potential is how it's coming through. It does feel like, though, that there may be some fears that you're facing. And it feels like fears and insecurity. Chaos, yeah. Yeah, that's like the moth energy, right? Like there's like so much going on that it's like I feel like you have to pause, Leo. That's how it's coming through. There's like a real emphasis here of like pausing and going within because there's a lot of external energy that's sort of being shaken up or that's moving. Rotation. Okay, can I get one more card? You got two. Saturn and lead. That's heavy. Okay. Because, of course, lead is the element of Saturn. And we have Mercury at the bottom of the deck, which we are, of course, in a Mercury retrograde at the moment. In Aries. Saturn and lead. Again, with that energy of self-discipline. Okay. I feel like there's something happening around you, Leo, where it's like things are being shaken up. Something's moving or changing, and in the process it's getting you to like go within. I feel like if there is something like really external happening that's like changing a lot of things for you, that circumstance is encouraging you to delve deeper into yourself and your own emotions or how you're feeling about a certain situation or something like that, because there is some sort of untapped potential that is being awakened here that may have something to do with self-discipline or like commitments with the Saturn energy, like things that you're committed to, and like nurturing yourself and structure and boundaries. I feel like there's something here as well because the rotation card is like the Wheel of Fortune, right? Like cycles. Through its circularity, it indicates that work performed again and again produces results. It reminds us that our efforts are cumulative, not singular. Nor is the work ever fixed or finished. Rather, the alchemist rises each day to tend to the laboratory, to weave their work into the world. Although changed, I arise the same. The operation is expressed through images of the circle, the spiral, of course, the wheel, etc. Though this stage can be frustrating and cause a fair amount of restlessness, it is at the heart of all spiritual practices. Okay, I feel like there is something here where it's like you're being asked to commit to something where it's like you have to, there may be a bit of frustration because it's like you have to do it over and over again, or it's like something that you have to like really commit to, or that it requires a lot of self-discipline. But and what that work is like your emotional response to something is how it's coming through, which is really interesting. Because, okay, I'm going to read the lead card. It's the first metal. Its properties are heavy, dense, and unwaveringly steady. It is often perceived as the metal that initiated the entire alchemical drive to turn what is base, lead, into what is noble, gold. It correlates to the planet Saturn and its love of rules and structure. On one hand, this card implies a fixed position or burden that may be weighing down the work. On the other hand, lead can arrive just in time to ground a situation, to bring an alchemist back to the humble beginnings. Either way, the presence of lead is sobering. We cannot ignore it. The impatient alchemist may be discouraged to see it in the alchemist, as it reminds us of how far we have to go. Approach this card with reverence for the ongoing process. Okay. Okay. Because with the moth, especially, that is an energy of like wanting to move really quickly on something. But the cards that are coming through here is actually like, no, Leo, you have to pause and sink in deeper to something, is how it's coming through. Where it's, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of like new commitment that's sort of like anchoring you, is how it's coming through. Like physically, perhaps. But there may be frustration with that for some reason. It's coming through like that. Or there's like, well, it doesn't have to be though. I actually feel like this is a positive thing because the chaos card is almost coming through as being like a tornado energy, like a lot of things being sort of stirred up, but then there's Saturn and lead to anchor you. So that it's kind of, because I feel like there's something here where it's like there's something happening external to you that's changing a lot of things, but you are anchored in. So it's not, I do feel like it will affect you, Leo, but perhaps not as much as the others, is how it's feeling. To like anchor into something. And that it's coming through with like your own emotions, maybe. But I do feel like there's some frustrating energies around a situation. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card. Co-creation. Radius and ulna, tibia and fibula. Then you have pride at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Co-creation. In your journey through this incarnation, you are going to be the one taking every step, making every move, and channeling your brilliance into this world. No one is going to do that for you. You are the one responsible for creating your vision for this life and this world here on Earth. But because you are a human channel of divinity, a child of the universe, you're not doing it alone. All you have to do is reach into the beyond, push past what you see and feel into what you know. Feel for the most expansive and activating frequencies of worthiness, pride, power, love, and pleasure. Let them guide you as you take action. These bones will support you in your ever-evolving understanding of co-creation. Tap into them as you dream dreams, create visions, and organize your reality. Know that your relationship with co-creation is just as necessary and intricate as the energy fields created by the radius and ulna and the tibia and fibula. What direction do I currently need? Stop and ask for it. Do I trust that I will be given the signs and steps I need to affect my current situation? How can I prepare in this current moment to follow my guidance when it comes? Is there a part of me that has had a hard time trusting? Which part of it? My inner child, inner critic? What does it have to say? Okay. I am feeling this energy here of like taking a moment to pause, Leo, and consider what is being asked of you at this time, because I feel like there's something here where it's like maybe you're being asked to anchor into some sort of like new commitment or something like that, because there is something in the external environment that feels like, metaphorically, spiritually, like a tornado. So it's like wanting you to anchor, like to solidify something, or to like delve deeper into some sort of whatever it is, commitment, so that it doesn't like pull you away from something. That's how it's coming through. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there, Leo. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.